NASA has released the first images taken by the James Webb Space Telescope.
The pictures are unlike anything we've ever seen before.
There are moments in history when everything shifts, when a single discovery rewrites the story we've been telling ourselves for centuries. And one of those moments just happened. It began not with a bang, but with a whisper, pixels forming quietly on a screen at a NASA control center. Scientists, engineers, dreamers held their breath as the first images trickled in from the James Webb Space Telescope. They weren't just looking at dots of light, they were staring across time, and what they saw defied everything they thought they knew. For years, we've peered into the night sky, trying to make sense of where we came from, what came before us, what lies beyond the limits of our vision. But those limits until now were frustratingly firm, an invisible horizon drawn by the speed of light in the age of the universe. 13.8 billion years old. That was the age of everything we could see, everything reachable, everything known. But now the Webb telescope has reached further. It has done what no other instrument could. It has pierced the darkness at the edge of the observable universe and revealed something so staggering, so utterly alien, that it's forcing scientists to question the very laws they built their careers on. You see, the edge isn't a wall, it's a veil, a curtain drawn across a stage that has been performing since the dawn of time. And behind that curtain, Webb saw a frenzy of light, motion, and matter. Dense, chaotic, burning with purpose. This wasn't a quiet, empty cosmos waiting to bloom. This was a universe already alive, already dancing, already shaping itself into something vast and complicated. Galaxies were forming where none should exist. Stars were igniting far too soon. Entire regions of space pulsed with energy and gravity, behaving in ways that broke every existing model. It wasn't smooth or orderly. It wasn't what the textbooks said it would be. It was wild and beautiful and terrifying. One structure in particular made the scientists fall silent. It wasn't just a galaxy, it was a colossal swirl of matter and light, taking shape just 180 million years after the Big Bang. That's like finding a fully grown tree in the middle of a volcanic eruption. Impossible. And yet there it was. Even more baffling, the presence of heavy elements, metals that should have taken billions of years to form through generations of stars being born and dying. But these metals were already there, laced through ancient gas clouds like fingerprints from a past that had somehow accelerated itself into being. And in the shadows of this early chaos, something even more mysterious stirred. Black holes, massive ones, not slowly growing in quiet corners of space, but blazing and hungry, already consuming the material around them like monsters waking up before the universe had a chance to fully open its eyes. How did they form so fast? Where did they come from? No one knows, not yet. But perhaps the most haunting discovery of all wasn't a structure. It wasn't a star or a planet or a black hole. It was a glow, a soft, ambient light stretched thin across the cosmos, older than the oldest galaxies, diffuse and sourceless, as if the universe itself was exhaling its first breath. Scientists believe it might be the signature of the first stars ever born. Stars made purely of hydrogen and helium, enormous and short-lived. Ghosts of light that once tore through the darkness and left behind only this fading shimmer. And in that glow were whispers, tiny ripples, faint patterns that mirrored predictions made decades ago. Patterns born from quantum fluctuations, frozen into place when the universe was still smaller than a grain of sand. It's like hearing the echo of a thought that was never supposed to be remembered. And yet here it is, a story older than time, a beginning, not written in ink, but in radiation and gravity and dust. The edge of the observable universe isn't an ending. It's a window, a keyhole into the very first heartbeat of creation. And through it, we're not just seeing stars or gas, we're seeing ourselves in an earlier form. We're seeing the raw potential that would one day become galaxies, solar systems, planets, and life. And that changes everything. When those images reached Earth, when they bloomed on those NASA monitors in silence and awe, it wasn't just data we were looking at. It was a message sent by the past, carried across time, whispering truths we've never heard before. As researchers pored over the new data, a chilling realization began to sink in. The early universe was not the quiet, empty stage we once imagined. It was a storm, a violent, breathtaking, living storm. And at its heart, a story was unfolding, one of speed, chaos, collapse, and rebirth. The discovery of protostructures, those ancient tangled webs of matter and energy, showed something deeply unexpected. We used to believe that matter in the early cosmos was smooth, almost uniform, like mist slowly condensing into form. But Webb tells another story. It shows a cosmos already sculpted by invisible hands, clumping and spiraling and burning with intense gravitational force. These weren't the first hints of structure. They were the blueprint, the scaffolding of the future. And it didn't stop there. Webb's instruments, NIRCam and MIRI, worked together like eyes designed to see ghosts. They filtered through the heavy redshift of 13.6 billion years, isolating light that no human eye could ever perceive. And what they found painted a cosmic canvas of urgency: star-forming regions larger than our minds can comprehend, gas clouds collapsing with ferocity, elemental fusion happening on a scale that redefined impossible. The timeline of everything we thought we knew: how stars are born, how galaxies grow, how black holes feed, was suddenly fractured. Scientists had always believed that galaxies took their time. That complexity arrived slowly, gently, patiently. But Webb's lens has shattered that illusion. Complexity, it turns out, raced out of the gate. The universe didn't crawl into being. It sprinted. And then came the quasar. There it was, a supermassive black hole, already awake and devouring, only 300 million years after the Big Bang. That's like finding a roaring fire in a forest before anyone lit the match. How did something so huge, so powerful, rise in such a short time? The theories began to unravel. The numbers didn't add up. Some scientists now whisper about direct collapse black holes, monsters that form not from dying stars, but from enormous clouds of gas collapsing instantly under their own weight. Others wonder if there are forces at play that we don't yet understand, mechanisms we haven't discovered, physics that haven't revealed themselves. And if that weren't enough, there's still that strange glowing veil, the ambient infrared light, the cosmic background that doesn't come from any single galaxy or star. It simply is, like a soft glow beneath the universe's skin. And buried within it are tiny, trembling patterns, minute variations in brightness, so subtle they almost disappear. But they don't. Those ripples are like scars left by something far older than light, something that existed in the earliest trillionths of a second after the Big Bang. Quantum fluctuations. Frozen echoes of the moment when reality itself was stretching and unfolding. These aren't just patterns. They are the fingerprints of creation. And with them comes the quiet suggestion, one that both thrills and unnerves scientists across the world, that we might be seeing signs not just of our universe, but of others. The possibility that this cosmos we call home is just one bubble in a much vaster ocean, that the tiny irregularities in the background glow might be whispers from other universes, brushing up against our own in that first cosmic breath. It's a thought so vast, so dizzying, it's almost too much to hold. But it lingers, because when you stand at the edge of everything, when you look out into the dark and see it looking back, you start to realize that the boundary is not just out there, it's inside us too. We've spent centuries reaching outward, building tools to pierce the sky, asking questions with our eyes turned upward. But now, for the first time, the universe has answered, not in certainty, but in wonder, in paradox, in beauty that defies logic and invites feeling instead. And standing here now, at the very edge of what can be seen, we have to ask ourselves, what does it mean? What does it mean to see this far? To look back through time and watch the universe begin to shape itself long before we had words or thoughts or questions to give it meaning? It means we are no longer just observers of the cosmos. We are part of its memory. Every photon that reached the James Webb Space Telescope began its journey before Earth even existed, before the sun sparked into being, before the elements that make up our bodies, carbon, oxygen, iron, had ever formed. These ancient beams of light have been traveling across space, untouched and undisturbed, for over 13 billion years, just to end their voyage in our instruments and in our eyes. That's not just science, that's poetry. To see the universe as it was in its infancy is to witness ourselves in a mirror older than time. Because everything we are, our breath, our thoughts, our hopes, was forged in that furnace. The same violent birth that formed the first stars eventually led to the ones that gave us life. The same forces that shaped those chaotic webs of matter also shaped our world, our story. This isn't just about distant galaxies or ancient black holes. It's about understanding that we are connected to every part of this universe, across time, across distance, across all the strange and beautiful events that came before us. We are not apart from the cosmos. We are the cosmos awakened. And yet, as we uncover more of this vastness, the questions only grow louder. If galaxies formed earlier than we expected, what else happened sooner than we thought? If black holes grew faster than our theories allow, what new laws are we missing? If we can see the fingerprints of the first stars, what secrets are still waiting in the dark? And maybe the most haunting question of all, what lies just beyond what we can see? Because the observable universe isn't the whole universe. It's simply the part we can access, the light that has had time to reach us. But beyond that edge, there could be more, so much more. Entire regions of space still locked behind the speed of light, their messages still en route to us through the void. Maybe there are galaxies that will never reach our eyes because the universe is expanding too fast. Maybe there are places so old and so distant that their light has already faded, swallowed by the darkness. Or maybe, just maybe, we are on the brink of discovering that our universe is not alone. That what we see is only one verse in a cosmic chorus, echoing across a multiverse too vast for the human mind to grasp. Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain. The James Webb Space Telescope has changed us. It has taken the edge of the known universe, once an abstract line drawn in silence, and turned it into a living, burning frontier. A place of origin, of chaos, of elegance. A place where the universe first began to dream. And as we stand here now in the soft blue glow of our small planet, staring into images that stretch back to the beginning of time, something inside us shifts. We are humbled. We are awakened. We are reminded that for all our struggles and divisions, all our wars and wonders, we are a species capable of looking back 13 billion years and finding not just stars, but a sense of belonging. Because in that ancient light, in those whispers from the dawn of time, is the story of us. And maybe, just maybe, that's the greatest discovery of all.